Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning after a bit of a hiatus due to some crazy real-life stuff going on, but we are going to be taking a first look at a brand new and free DLC for Strategic Command American Civil War in today's video. The DLC is the Blood and Iron DLC. It is the DLC that looks at the Franco-Prussian War, so it actually takes the American Civil War game and extends it into the Franco-Prussian War or the War of German Unification, and it is, I think, an interesting scenario. So it's not like it's a full brand new game. It's basically one new campaign that's added to the game. It's like 94 or so turns long. Each turn is 1 day, so it's a pretty long campaign in terms of the number of turns, but instead of like bi-weekly turns, they're daily turns, and it looks at the war basically from July until well, you get, so it must be more than 90 days because it's 1 turn per day. So it must be you get 90 days and the enemy gets 90 days, and so it's 180 total, because it goes from July to January, which is obviously more than 90 days, which must be 96 turns per side or so. In any event, it's an interesting looking campaign, and so we're going to take a look at it. It is free, by the way, so anybody who has Strategic Command American Civil War, if you already own that game, you can just update the game with the newest patch and you get this new DLC with it. So let's go ahead and take our first look at the Franco-Prussian War DLC for Strategic Command American Civil War. The power of trains to mobilize the troops. This should be interesting. So this is like firmly, we're going to play as the Germans, which I guess would technically be like the North German and South German Confederation, like figuring out like, okay, Bismarck convinced us, we'll form a unified country or command or whatever. Do we not do 3D counters or NATO counters? NATO counters is always like what the hardcore war gamers want, but I like myself some little soldier dudes. Okay, yeah, let's just jump right in. I believe the French go first in this, but I'm not sure it matters because it's, I don't know. I'm not sure it matters. What is that? Interesting, Anaris. Okay. Well, not every hardcore wargamer then is big on NATO counters, huh? Hey, look, nothing happened in the first turn. Okay, strategic advice for victory. Von Mukta explains the way ahead. It is impossible to lay down a plan of campaign that will last longer than the first clash with the enemy. It is, however, important to note that once mobilization is complete in early August, we will significantly outnumber the French forces and must use that advantage to best effect. We have the best cavalry for reconnaissance, the best artillery, and the larger army, so victory there is waiting to be seized. As well as defeating the French field armies, it is a march on Paris that will humble the Bonapartists and win us the war. So reminder, this is Napoleon III, who I think, wasn't he like a nephew of Napoleon or something? It wasn't Napoleon's kid with the Austrian princess that he married toward the end of his reign, but it was, I think, like his, I don't know if it was his kid's kid or whatever it was. It was some not distant, but like, it's not like this was the kid of Napoleon. But he definitely loved to style himself as Napoleon. Nephew by his youngest brother. Okay. All right. So we've got some divisions that are mobilizing. I guess we might as well just place those on the map first. Let's put that in Spire. We've got a division arriving in Trier along the Belgian or the Luxembourg border. And the interesting thing with, I will say, with this DLC, so first off, it's an operational campaign type map. So, oh, that looks ugly. It's an operational type map. So you're not looking at, you know, east and west or whatever. It's just the campaign along the Franco-Prussian border to Paris. It is not going to include diplomacy. Diplomacy appears to be turned off. So like we can't decide, oh, we're going to invade Holland or Belgium or anything like that. It is just an operational DLC. So we are just going to be fighting the French, and we are not going to be extending this war beyond what it historically was. I wish is there a better way to I'd show units. I'd show supply. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Grid. I really would like a colored grid that more clearly delineates who controls what, but it doesn't look like we have that as an option right now. In any event, what are our objectives for victory again? I don't even remember. It tells you somewhere. Victory conditions. Here we go. All right. So German major victory. French fighting spirit needs to drop below 1%, or Germany controls Paris. So basically either crush their morale or take Paris. The French need to drop our morale below 1%. They also need to control Paris, Metz, Strasbourg, and Belfort on January 31st of 1861. Otherwise, victory is determined based on conditions of control on the 31st. So we can have a minor victory if we hold Koblenz, Mainz, Metz, Strasbourg, and Belfort. French get a minor if they hold Paris, Metz, or Strasbourg, or Belfort. So one, I assume Paris and then any of the other three. Minor victory can also be declared by decision after October 1st, 1870 if Metz, Strasbourg, and Belfort are controlled and there are fewer than 20 enemy units within 60 hexes of Strasbourg. Okay. By decision makes it sound like a judge is doing something or whatever. Okay, so the border's like empty. Our forces really haven't mobilized yet. Now, Metz is a major fortress complex. It is one of the major sort of, I guess, FS objectives or morale objectives. So taking Metz is important. Likewise, taking Strasbourg, which is much closer to the border and doesn't have as built up a fortress complex. So you can see like Strasbourg here, it's got a fort and it's got like entrenchment values here. So it's going to be a tough nut to crack, but there's no surrounding hexes. If you look at Metz, this is a major fortress complex. 4 hexes around it are fortresses. The Metz itself is a fortress, and you can actually force Metz to surrender by taking these cities with these green stars, so you can cut supply off to Metz. If you take Conflans, Mars, Latour, Chamblay, Verny, Cour, and just gonna mumble because I can't pronounce shit. So I don't really know what to do yet. Interestingly enough, Verdun is not the fortress that it will become. That's kind of Metz. So let's see here. It says we'll have a substantial manpower advantage when our forces finish mobilizing, which is obviously not now. We should build up our troops somewhere. We don't really have a lot of points here. We only have 50 national morale points. Doesn't look like I can purchase much with those, if anything, right now. We do have some troops out here to the east that are already mobilized near Mainz. It's south of Koblenz. So I'm thinking what we might want to do is form up some troops on these 2 objectives here, Saarbrücken and Saarlouis, to keep these FS objectives out of French hands. And then we can just advance on Metz directly, maybe. Unless anybody has some better ideas. Like, I don't really know. The southern objectives seem too far away. Like, I don't want to deploy way far south. Although Belfort is an objective to take. Dijon. Where is Paris relative to this? Over here, and also very well dug in. You can see here a lot of fortifications around it. So... well, Germany is just beginning to be existing now, Hugh. This is basically the war of German unification. So Metz is probably the most direct route. Alternatively, we can flank to the north, which I believe is historically what was done. Where is Sedan anyway? It's right, isn't it right along the border with Belgium? It's somewhere around there. My French geography is not my strong suit. Oh, hi, bot. Goodbye, bot. Not in the mod view, though. Well, I banned him. I don't know why it won't let me actually delete the message. Anyway, all right, so we've got some troops on the border here. We're gonna go ahead and, I think, just begin moving them forward. I don't want to ruin their morale by force marching them, so I think we'll just move them slowly. You know, they're cavalry. They can, some of these guys are cavalry anyway. They can move more quickly. I can rail move some of these guys. I can rail move one of the units here. So we will have one of these units form up here on this objective. What town is this? Saarbrücken? We'll form up on Saarbrücken. I don't think I can rail move anybody else. I don't have enough points. Not yet, anyway. I will force march that one unit. We'll keep moving these guys along the railway there so we can eventually transport them via rail. Meanwhile, Strasbourg is an objective, so we will also concentrate our other forces that we have in the general vicinity on Strasbourg. And then Belfort also needs to be an objective. We can drive there probably from Freiburg. So let's keep those troops around here. These are mostly garrisons. I'm not sure what to do exactly with them, so I think we'll keep them in place for now. Upgraded French infantry has chamber pots. Is that their better gun? I know the French had better small arms in the Franco-Prussian War, but the Germans largely made up for it with their improved artillery. Which I don't know is artillery. It doesn't look like artillery. Oh, it is a field artillery here. So field artillery is a thing in this game. We don't have the upgraded infantry though that the French do. Anyway, that's like all we've got for turn one. So most of our troops haven't mobilized yet. So move forward here. All right, so we've got some French Zouaves. Oh, some cavalry across the border here. East of Metz. Looks like they're mobilizing some troops near Strasbourg. Laying siege to Metz. It may not be necessary to attack Metz directly in order to capture the important objective. Firstly, surround Metz by capturing all locations the city that are marked with green stars, the position of at least 6 of our units so that they're within 4 hexes of Metz, measuring the distance from hex 9047. Once these conditions have been met, there will be a 20% chance every turn that all the French forces in and around Metz will surrender. Achieving this result would bring real glory to ARMS. Okay, so that's kind of what we were talking about before. Meanwhile, von Steinmetz and Frederick Karl's headquarters are ready this turn. Go here. Where's von? Do they go to the same place? No, they don't. All right, these guys gotta be further north at Trier. Okay. And the 10th division is here. Okay. So, French cavalry has crossed the border into Germany, so we're going to go ahead and engage them with this division here, the 6th division against the 2nd French cavalry. Good exchange for us there in that particular fight. Move a regiment into their rear. And we'll leave those guys where they are for now. Move these troops south from Trier toward the border. And we will keep our cavalry moving this way as well. All right, so we still have, got what, like 300 points here? But we're not going to advance into France this quickly, so we might as well just march these guys. long as they don't get too far into our areas here. Can we dig these guys in at all, or do they just, I guess they just entrench automatically, so hopefully they don't attack that. Oh, did I leave a national morale objective open? I did. Whoops. Well, what can we do about it? Any troops we can rail in there? They'll be less effective if we send them by rail, but... Alright. We'll send a regiment over that way. I'm sure they'll get overrun because their effectiveness is greatly reduced when they move by rail. Hey, Coffee Filter, how you doing? Let's move the Baden Division in to France. Advancing on Bischwiller. And we'll move the Mulheim Regiment toward Mulhouse. Mainly just because I see no resistance along the border, so we might as well take some free territory. Might draw some French troops toward us. A lot of Zouas, a lot of the red pants with the blue tops going on here. I don't think there's much else for me to do this turn. Yeah, that's everybody. All right, so let's, I guess we've got 300 points. How much is field artillery? It's 500. I want some goddamn artillery. Do we have some coming? We do. We've got 2 batteries coming on the 29th, so we're still a couple days away from that. We've also got some rail guns by the looks of it. How long does it take after you buy something for it to show up here? Just one day? Okay. I'm assuming this is delay in, well, it says months, but given that each turn is 1, and I don't know. I guess we'll see. It would suck to have to wait for a third of the actual game for artillery. All right, so we get 347 more. It takes about a month. Damn it. Yeah, I don't think there's any ships in this. I don't think we have an option to build a Prussian navy on, you know, on a shoestring budget. Meanwhile, it seems like that cavalry may have pulled back in the north where we engaged it. The French troops in front of us here appear to have chess pots. Let's take a look here. So you can see they've got a little 1 next to them, which means they have an advantage. They've got a level 1 infantry technology. We do not have that as an option. We cannot do that, which basically is due to the Germans, I think, are using the needle gun or whatever. The French had a marked superiority in small arms in the Franco-Prussian War, and so that's what this reflects. The interesting thing here, though, is they must have moved these guys in with low readiness. They must have sent these guys in via rail or force marched them or something, because our readiness is 68, our morale is 85, their morale is 38 and 46. So I am tempted to attack these guys just because this is going to probably be one of those rare times where we actually have a 1-to-1 advantage in a stand-up fight against the French here, against this unit. So we engaged them and inflicted some heavy casualties. They were almost destroyed. I don't have enough troops to finish them off or anything like that, but just something to consider here. Okay. Sent our cavalry in toward Wissenbohr. I guess we're forming a column here. Maybe we can threaten these secondary supply cities here. 2, by the way, 2 icons is a brigade, 3 is a division, 1 is a regiment. And I don't have the option to like upgrade any of these troops. The only ships are that the French have the option to try an off-map landing in northern Germany. That's cool. Did the French even have plans to do that historically? I don't think they did. At least I've never heard of it. Right, these guys don't have the upgrade. So they at least they pulled back out of Saarlouis. Oh, there's Sedan. An unremarkable town there. Well north of Metz. All right, so we're still bringing these troops south, right? Yeah. Okay, let's move our headquarters unit here. Let's move on Stein into Saarlouis. Reinforce these guys. They'll lose a little bit of experience, but they'll get back to full strength. These guys here. Honestly, maybe we should just be moving these guys via rail. They would get there much more quickly. I wonder which is more detrimental to readiness, rail or forced marches. I'm gonna guess forced marches. But so one headquarters will be at Saarlouis. We'll put the other one at Saarbrücken. And then we'll have 2 armies essentially advance on Metz and try and flank the city. Once we actually have more of our troops on map. Which I do need to deploy more of those guys now. So let's do that. Oh, we got a lot of units to deploy this turn. Can't move any of them via rail on the turn you actually deploy them, though, so we're not missing out by having delayed on doing that. Crap. That guy can't deploy on a rail hex. Okay. Neither can this. Fudge. That guy can, so we'll have some artillery next turn. That'll be nice. Meanwhile, 600 points, so let's go ahead and buy another field artillery unit. We could also buy some siege guns, but we'll do rifled artillery. These rifled guns are good for long-range work. Okay, so we'll get those in a while. Oh my god. August 28th-ish, so yeah, it is a month. We get siege guns in September, though. Krupp steel, baby! The Merchants of Death. Alright. Not gonna do anything with that regiment at the moment. I guess we could just block the route, direct route to Saarlouis. Yep, that's good. And we'll move to July 30th. Another 350 MPPs. Hey, Slick. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Yeah, the loading screen maybe shouldn't be Confederate and Union flags for this DLC. Just a thought. Just maybe something to consider. All right, they're gonna attack a regiment of our troops here. A regiment of our troops. A regiment of troops of ours with a division. And now they're gonna advance on the headquarters of von Steinmetz. Hopefully they don't attack him, and they don't. Oh wow, the cavalry has arrived this turn. All right. Let's undo that. That says 2-5. So, is there any way to cut them off? Because we get like the zone of control penalty. Ooh, they're surrounded. Nice. That's what I wanted to do because I moved this regiment in behind. So now I think this Frenchman can't go anywhere. So let's advance down here and attack. All right, we'll pull him back. We'll finish off that division. And that is a division with chassepotts. So they were a level 1 infantry technology unit there that we just wiped out a French division. Good on you, boys. Do we try to drop in behind these 3 divisions? It seems a little bit premature, perhaps. I think we're better off moving. Let's move this cavalry here, opposite the Frenchmen who are trying to advance through Horbach. Advance those troops in that direction. Shift this regiment here. Move these guys into the objective. Take on that enemy cavalry here. That was an advantageous return for us, I think. Give them the rebel yell. Alright, I don't want to use rail points on guys that are already so close to the front. Maybe with the artillery. Maybe that would make sense. Do they have ranged attack? I'm assuming they do. So we'll move these guys north of Saarbrücken, although they could be attacked by the enemy if they shift around our flank. We could stop that by railing 1 division in. It does make this division more vulnerable to enemy attack if we aren't careful. These guys aren't on a rail hex, so I can't send them in. Yeah. Forced marches absolutely kill your readiness and morale. Much more so than moving troops via rail. Now that I just tested it out. Alright, so... let's reinforce these guys. The question is, do we deploy some troops along the border in the south to stop a drive east against the objectives down there? Or do we leave the bulk or keep the bulk of our troops up in the north to really focus on Metz? I think I should deploy at least some troops to the south. We've deployed most of our troops to this point to the north, but we should focus at least some of the troops in the south should the enemy try to, you know, throw us for a loop. I'm assuming we'll get another headquarters soon too, because we'll probably need one of those in the south. Maybe we should even try and focus on reducing Strasbourg. Although they do have a decent chunk of troops down here. No, I hadn't seen, there's a new Suzerain game. Is it the same developer, Cow? I saw that they were moving Suzerain to mobile. They were going to be putting it on, like, iPhones and stuff like that. I hadn't heard of a new game, though. At least not from the same developers. Alright, new units. Let's deploy these guys where we can. Cavalry go there. And there. More troops up north near Trur. That is a major mustering location. These guys near mines. Get everybody on railway hexes. Oh no. Alright, these guys can... I guess that was dumb. I can't undo it though. I should have seen if I could actually move them via rail. Fudgicle. Alright. That should do it for this turn. I guess we move forward to the next one as these troops slowly continue to mobilize and more troops begin to show up. We have 2 infantry divisions stationed in northern Germany to counter the threat of an amphibious invasion there. We do not know if the French are planning a landing there, and if you feel confident that no attempt will be made, these units could be moved south to take part in our invasion of France, arriving at Trier on the 10th for a cost of 50 MPPs. If you decide not to transfer these units now, then providing the French don't land in northern Germany, you will have another opportunity to transfer them at the start of October. I don't know what their landing in northern Germany will do. Like, would they do anything? Ah, interesting, Cow. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I think they hinted, and I can't remember if this is an interview we did with them or not, but I think they hinted at doing like another, like suzerain. The storyline doesn't change, but like it's another character within the extended universe, if you will. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, if you got a link or something, feel free to, I don't know, send it to me in chat or whatever. I think you should be allowed to post a link. I don't know. I won't ban you. I don't think there's a bot that'll do that. All right. What do we want to do with these? Saying yes runs the risk that the French will make a landing in northern Germany, which would reduce our fighting spirit by 2,500 points. And will force you to raise new defenses at considerable cost or suffer further fighting spirit penalty. Should these forces in northern Germany, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't need them. Yeah, Marcos, it's the Franco-Prussian War. King Wilhelm I of Prussia departs for the new war. Goddamn right he does. Now get me more Krupp guns. I need them. The French are... I can't see any strategy that the French might have. They're moving many soldiers around in many directions. I'm gonna bombard a regiment of my troops with your artillery. Okay. Shoot at the skirmish line, boys. Video description? Well, the game is Strategic Command of the American Civil War. It is a Franco-Prussian DLC, so hence the confusion, perhaps. So the description is correct. But yes. All right. Really? My arty just does no damage? All right. I guess it probably hurts their morale though. Quite a bit. V5, nice. Nearly wiped that regiment out. Let's pull that division back because it was pretty badly damaged. We'll finish these guys off. So my goal, in all honesty, my goal is just to destroy as much of the French military as I can. I believe that will serve our cause the most effectively. Words are hard, but I believe that'll do our cause the most good. So as many French units as we can destroy, that is the objective. That will lower their fighting morale. We'll attack those French guns, which apparently are also level 1 guns. I don't understand that. We should have better guns than them. If it's going to be historically accurate. Alright, so we destroyed a French cavalry division and a French infantry division so far this turn. So far. Alright, let's attack that cavalry division here. And we'll wipe another one out. Hell yeah, boys. Cavalry is dead. Long live the cavalry. These guns are surprisingly mobile. Okay. I wonder if these guys have any supply. It says their supply is 3, so pretty bad. Alright, give me a 2 to 4. I will take that against superior... against better armed infantry, I will definitely take that. And we'll destroy another French infantry division, this one near Celts in the south. There we go. Thank you very much for the sub, Voldemir. Appreciate the support. Alright. They moved a lot of their troops out of Strasbourg. Attack them there, 4 to 3. Wipe out another French division north of Strasbourg. We'll try and flank Strasbourg and see if we can reduce their supplies enough to get that city to fall, because that is one of the objectives. Surprisingly not all that well defended, but it is an objective. These troops here may pull back, but we did what? We destroyed 2 infantry divisions now here in the south as well. I think we have a bunch of new units to deploy as well. Oh, wait, we didn't move all these guys yet. Alright, let's move the cavalry without using rail. Alright, so we're going to deploy some of these additional divisions in here in the south. I suppose if we break through at Strasbourg and Belfort, which are also objectives, that allows us a more direct route, perhaps, toward Paris. Somewhere. I don't think we have to take that far south, but in theory, it's a direct route west of there. I have not watched the new All Quiet. I've heard good things. We read All Quiet in the Western Front in high school. It's a very impactful book. Is that everybody? Am I forgetting anybody? Can we reinforce these guys? No, because we attacked with them, didn't we? That's everybody I would want to wager an attack with, at least. Alright. New units, let's deploy you. The Crown Prince's headquarters. I'm guessing that's gonna come in at Mannheim. Nope. Speyer, however you pronounce that. So the Crown Prince, that's is that Kaiser Wilhelm, even though he's technically Alright, let's purchase another field artillery unit. Oh no, I don't have enough money. We could do siege guns. We'll wait a turn. Although I could always upgrade them once they arrive. So let's just do that. Let's just buy the cheaper ones and we'll just upgrade them when they arrive. Dies reaching for a flower. The Prussian High Command arrives at Mainz to oversee the campaign. He died reaching for a flower? Really? Wow, that's different. Okay, getting some. Ooh, wow, they wrecked our cavalry there. In what way, Neuhauser? Laying siege to Paris. Paris is so important to France that its capture will bring about an immediate and decisive victory, but it is well protected by forts, so besieging it may be the best option. To do this, blah blah blah, blue stars. Okay. They really don't want you to launch a frontal assault, huh? They like say this multiple times with both Mainz and Paris. All right, let's destroy this French artillery. Defensive artillery. Can you be your own defensive artillery? We'll use up your shells firing at insignificant targets. How many more do they have now? None. Okay. Now you can't shoot back, jerks. Artillery destroyed. There you go, boys. It looks like this first objective is not guarded, so the cavalry will race forward, take the first one. And we are threatening Mainz, the key fortification hub, whatever. All right. I suppose the offensive has begun now that I've like started driving out of here, despite the fact that all my troops have not yet arrived on the front. These guys are so far back. Let's just move them up via rail. Move them into Saarbrücken. Okay, 4-5. 4-3. So we have a prepared attack advantage. But I want to surround them, so we'll do that. So we can destroy him, hopefully, without too much in the way of losses. Got him. Another French division destroyed. Gonna shift most of the troops to the left. And we're gonna push with a large force down this road towards St. Ovold. And then flank Mainz from the south, taking Vernay, Chambly, Pointe de Mousson, and moving around that way. That's the plan in any event. Another French division destroyed. By the way, if we take a look at the reports, it says the French have 23 land units and we have 53. Do we really outnumber them that badly? Holy patoli. They do have 31 forts, which does even the odds a bit. Take a look at losses. They have lost 8 units. We haven't lost anything yet. They've lost 5 divisions, 2 cavalry divisions, and a field artillery unit. Graphs. What are we looking at here? MPPs. The French income is about, well, it's less, it's a little over 380. So their income, fighting spirit 98 versus 95. Plunder's not a thing. R&D's not a thing. So it's a pretty basic scenario here. Alright, so we've still got a bunch of troops that have not yet gotten to the front. This cavalry that they really beat up near Schwiller, or however you pronounce it. We'll take some heavy casualties on this infantry division, mainly to push these Frenchmen back off the backs of our cavalry here. Right, Strasbourg is now surrounded. These 11 to 1, they're an elite unit. Fuck. Let's move this RD to bombard Strasbourg, because we'll need it versus those forts, I think. Also move another division down here to be adjacent to Strasbourg to assault that perhaps next turn. Let's have 2 down there. It is an objective, and then once we, it is like a NFS objective, and once we take that, then we'll want to move on Belfort, which is further south. But I think the troops forming up at Strasbourg might do that. Or maybe they won't. Maybe it'll be the troops further south. Maybe we need to form another formation there. I'm not sure. The indecisive gamer. Okay, that all looks good. Force these troops on the front rather than pushing too far, too fast. Vogelbach, I think these guys are going to either attack north against kind of what looks to be a vulnerable position, or I think they'll probably reposition. This is going to trigger some kind of response, taking Fally. Okay, we'll end this turn. Russia promises to support Prussia if it is attacked by Austria-Hungary. Wow, how the politics changed between 1870 and 1914. Wow. All right. Thanks for the support, Russia. Well, I was right that they'd reposition those troops. So they're going to attack our regiment, which I thought they might, which is why I moved that artillery into Saarbrücken. Oh, wow. They almost destroyed that regiment. They did lose pretty heavily, though. 3 hit points lost out of a division fighting a regiment. There's demonstrations in Paris against Olivier's government. It is the Franco-Prussian War, Coffee. Defending Franc-Tours. As we advance into France, large numbers of civilians are likely to take up arms against us. Those who pose the greatest threat will be those Franc-Tours who attack our supply lines. Okay, so partisans. Do not be caught out. You can see where their activity is expected by hitting the P button. Okay. The majority of our troops must be raised by this point, based on the small returns we're getting. So we're still a ways away from any kind of French resistance, folks. All right, so this fort has lost a lot of its supply. Let's bombard it. Ooh, got a hit point there. Got another one there. Keep using up those shells, boys. All right. So that's all of the shells. Their readiness and morale are low. I wonder if once they're out of shells, if they can shoot back. Looks like they can. Okay, so Strasbourg is ours. That's our first objective taken. These guys south. We got to make a drive on Belfort. That's another one of our objectives. So Strasbourg is ours. Belfort's another one. Metz is up north. Mainz and Koblenz are the other ones. Where are Mainz and Koblenz? Or no, those are already in our territory, so those are just hold on to those. Mainz is up here. Koblenz is over here. So yeah, those are the two objectives for a major, or for a minor, and then then it's Paris, basically. That and Metz up here. Okay, so that was a good victory there again at Strasbourg. 3-2. Alright, I'll take 3-5, a fresh division. Whoa, we wiped him out! Hell yeah, eat shit, French division. Oh man, those crack troops don't want to die though. The 2nd Grenadiers. Curious if we can cut supply to this pocket of troops down here. Some of our divisions down here are a little bit weaker than I feel comfortable with. But we'll see. Alright, we'll need to keep someone back near Strasbourg to garrison it. We'll probably pull this regiment down here. Or the one down near Mulheim. Not even. Another French division destroyed. Man, those are heavy casualties. I mean, we're inflicting losses on the French, no doubt. But we're losing pretty considerable numbers of not units but troops. That makes sense. All right. So we took the first objective to try and isolate Mainz. Push against these troops in the north. We'll cut them off, actually. Good job. And destroyed. This kind of actually makes sense. It feels like a little bit of a soft underbelly for the French up on the northern portion here, northern flank, which would explain why perhaps they made a drive in towards Sedan. I don't really, in this map, in this context right now, I don't see the strategic significance of Sedan at the moment. I'm certainly not the most versed in the Franco-Prussian War. Got him. Another French division destroyed. Man, these guys are melting. Take this supply city. We'll look at using our artillery against it next turn and reducing it. That should help with supplies by taking a secondary supply section. If we take a look at the supply situation here, it's not terrible yet. We're still pretty close to the border, but taking a secondary supply depot will improve our own supply as we push forward. But I think that's where we're going to leave things off here. Things are going pretty well so far in this campaign. I'd say the war is going well for Prussia. We haven't won it yet. We haven't taken Metz. We haven't taken all the objectives, but I'd say we're off to a good start. And it seems like our troops are able to push back the French to our front without too much concern. I mean, the French do have better guns, and yet it seems like our troops' experience or whatever must be better, because we don't too often suffer super heavy casualties. And the artillery is helpful, but it's not like I'm using in every engagement. So I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out as things move forward. With that being said, this seems like as good of a spot as any to go ahead and wrap up. So I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. Leave your thoughts below. And as a reminder, this is a DLC that is available to anyone with Strategic Command in the American Civil War. I just update the game via the patch and you'll be good to go with that. And yeah, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.